For what?
Ready?
For what?
Ready
For what?
to free Myles Garrett.
Are we breaking him out like in Ocean's 11? Like we're
Yeah.
just gonna go out and we're gonna save Myles Garrett?
Yep.
Do we have to steal the helmet that he hit Mason Rudolph with too, or
That's national treasure.
can we do both?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna save Myles Garrett.
Yes.
We're gonna steal the helmet.
Yes.
Then where does Myles Garrett go? Because if he's going to an NFC North team, I'm just gonna leave him there.
He's going to go to the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions.
Oh baby, we here.
We're still.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is GPS, the show that will navigate you to new heights, new lows, and will leave you more hollow and empty than ever before.
Yeah, that sounds like us.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, right? I think that's
Yeah.
pretty
You want to
good.
feel worse about the day? Check out our show, GPS.
Yeah.
It's available to be downloaded as a podcast too on iTunes.
I feel like we haven't said that in
Spotify.
a while.
Don't forget, we are a podcast.
You guys, are we on SoundCloud?
Yeah, we're in
Yeah,
heaven.
we're on
Sure.
SoundCloud.
I don't know.
We on MySpace?
Yep,
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
Tom listens to us there too. Wait, are you the guy who started MySpace? You've been holding back this whole time.
That's all right. I was
Bring
everybody's
back MySpace.
I was everybody's friend, and I still can't get 1 million subscribers. So it's just
Yeah.
climb. It's a climb. It's
David, I'm not talking about it.
Talk about what?
Stupid ass Pokemon bullshit.
Got to catch them all.
I'm gonna be out of there's one in March. I'm gonna be out of town that weekend, so can't go to that one. I have to wait.
Where are you gonna
till
go?
I gotta wait till July for the real one.
We're going out of town for the
In the
other one.
mountains. I'm gonna be in the mountains.
Are you going into the mountains finally? Is that the 21st? You said you were going.
Somewhere around there.
See, you and I are being risque right now because I'm leaving at the end of March to go on a trip. You're leaving near the end of March to go on a trip. Oh, I know I'm gonna miss news. I know it's gonna happen. But
Oh yeah, they're gonna be like Aaron Rodgers is returning to Green Bay. Jordan Love has retired in shame after being caught contaminating cheese in the Green Bay area.
Greenberry area.
Yeah, you've been contaminating the cheese. Old Jordan Love been peeing in the cheese.
So Maya actually she's like, you know what, Brandon, you could just do something super easy. You don't even have to, you could just dress up as like Ash Ketchum. You could just get like the hat and the jacket and you'd pull that off pretty well.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Like,
oh, I got you.
Ash Ketchum?
Yeah.
You mean Ash Kassem? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Nope. You know who Ash
Here's my problem, okay? Here's my problem with this. All right. If this was your thing as a kid, that's cool. That's great. I'm an adult man. I never watched Pokemon. I was never into anime. So for me, if you have to try and dive into that world as an adult, it's weird. And I don't want to do it. I loved the Ninja Turtles as a child. If Carmi wants to watch Ninja Turtles, I'll watch it with her. But I'm not going all in on the Ninja Turtles. It's a 40-year-old man.
That guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That'd be so easy. You just get a coat, you get a hat, and there you go.
What's his name? Ass Grabber?
Yep. Catchers of ass.
Yep. No, I go as Omni Man.
That's Invincible, which I haven't seen the latest episode, but I'm excited to watch.
I don't care. That's what people say I look like in the comments.
Yes, the Omni Man. You could pull it off. You just need to start speaking like J.K. Simmons.
Oh,
because he's the one who
faster. Jump faster, you piece of shit.
I feel like it's not as raspy. It's you got to go deeper.
Drum faster.
Nope.
Allstate. What insurance did he do?
No,
Juno, are you pregnant again? This is a different movie now.
we're jumping. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Don't know what that means either.
You don't know Sailor Moon? What kind of?
I didn't watch this bullshit. Didn't watch it.
Watch
Saved by the Bell.
Watch it. You don't know who Sailor Moon is?
No. All this stuff happened after I was into cartoons.
Well, you're also like, you're a man. You're 40.
Yeah. By 6, I was done with cartoons. That's
why.
No, I'm 7.
Sailor
I like
Moon.
real people.
I think you could pull that off easy.
Don't let me look in the mirror.
I think you can pull that off.
Don't let me look in the mirror. I ain't going to. No way.
Oh, yeah. Right when Mikey's the only one left. Oh, yeah.
Is that the one with Tom Cruise?
Nope. That's The Last Samurai. Last Ronin's a Ninja Turtle story.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Sorry.
Just thought you liked Ninja Turtles, you know?
Not that much.
We got a lot to talk about with football today, and obviously it's a Friday episode. And we were just talking about how before we went live, we're like, it's quiet. It's too quiet. Like there's a lot of like re-signings going on, and like, but if there hasn't been like that big monumental trade yet, there's like the workings of them of like where it seems like we're ramping up. There's still those rumors that the Titans are going to be moving out of the first overall pick. That could be on the horizon. And I know I'm supposed to go see a friend on Saturday. I know it's going to happen on Saturday. I know it is. It's going to.
All right.
I just know it.
It can wait.
It was. He was. Yeah, I mean, Bosa, we were talking. I mean, Perna will have his own opinions on Joey Bosa. But yeah, I mean, that's the problem. He just wasn't on the field. Like that ultimately, like what you can only hold on to a guy for potential for so long, right?
You can
and so
only
I imagine
be overrated for so long, Tom.
Yep.
At some point, you're just bad. You're not even rated.
You're just mildly rated.
Yeah.
So he could pull off Napa.
The Bosas. Oh, the Bosas.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes. And I'm sure it's going to be a prove it deal because he just has to show that he can stay on the field, right? I mean, that's going to be ultimately the biggest indicator if he's going to have some more success within the league. But it seems like there's a lot of stories going on. We talked about Myles Garrett. So Myles Garrett, in case you haven't tuned in this morning.
Hold on. Got some breaking news.
Oh.
Tanner Hudson coming back to the Bengals.
I saw that before. That's not even breaking news. That happened before we went live.
You're
anyway.
Cleveland? I mean, Cincinnati? You're the same team, just different levels of dysfunction.
Cincinnati found some money. They just were because they're looking at Jamar Chase and they're looking at T. Higgins, but talk about Trey Hendrickson. But in terms of Myles Garrett, so apparently he asked to speak to the owner of the Cleveland Browns. He's like, hey, want to sit down with good old Jimmy there, have a conversation. But the owner of the Cleveland Browns said, nay, I will not be taking a meeting with you because I think the GM will be able to handle whatever this situation is. And so when it comes to Myles Garrett, he's made it very, very clear, whether it was him trying to get out for a trade earlier. That happened a few weeks ago. That was reported. And now it's just like, hey, can please just somebody get me the hell out of here? But the fact that you have the owner of the Cleveland Browns refusing to meet with him, I think just really goes to show how well run of an organization the Cleveland Browns are right now. I think they're doing a great job. Are you reading again?
Yeah.
It takes a little bit sometimes.
I'm just Myles Garrett had a huge hand in the team's current quarterback mess. What? Yeah,
that's the rumor out there that he like wanted to go get a different QB.
Why would you listen to your edge rusher about his QB opinions?
I mean,
if
didn't they do that with Max Crosby too? The Raiders?
I feel like that's bullshit, but maybe it's true. I don't know.
I don't know how. Like, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, first of all, sorry. Second, I feel like there's not a world where you're going to have Cleveland Browns fans turn on Myles Garrett, who is their best player on the team, who has been in Cleveland for all these years.
Yeah.
And considering that their ownership has screwed them left and right. Yeah, I don't think like this is just a mess. They converted some of Deshaun Watson's money right into a signing bonus. So like they're going to be taking a brunt of it this year. Like they're still having to pay all of it because it's fully guaranteed. But you're just like in a mess of a situation if you're the Cleveland Browns. Like you had this defense, you had the offense like going, you're able to get to the playoffs with Joe Flacco, and now it's just it's bad.
That's the video I'm working on today. I've written how bad that contract is, and it keeps getting worse because they keep doing these restructures for Deshaun Watson. They're going to be paying for Watson through 2029 now in terms of their cap allocations and their dead cap hits, unless he gets arrested again and they can get out of the contract. I mean, not again, just gets arrested. Sorry, Deshaun. Let me be fair to you. Gets arrested and gives them reason to move on. So yeah, that contract's bad. They had to do that restructure just to become cap compliant. So that's why they had to do it with Watson. Now they have like 12 million in cap room. They've got no money really to pay anybody at this point. Their best player wants to leave. And their owner says, "Nay, I will not talk to you. We want you here, but I will not speak to you." What?
La 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 la.
You're staying and you have no communication with me, the person who has all the power. Traded post June for you can do a post first June 1st designation.
Correct.
They don't have to wait until June 1st. They can have the parameters now.
And every communication from the team is we are not trading him.
Yeah. And I thought that was negotiating tactics.
True.
Until this morning. I'm like, oh, they might be that stubborn.
I could see that.
Oh yeah, we're not going to trade him. Just make sure his value stays peak level. I don't even think they have to do that to get max value out of Garrett. But when your player has concerns and your owner won't even FaceTime you, won't take a meeting. That speaks to how Jimmy Haslam knows he can't convince anybody to do anything. Jimmy's like, if I talk to Myles, I'm just going to make it worse. I'm just going to make it worse. So I'm going to say, sorry, Myles.
Well, I mean, the problem is he's got 2 more years on his deal. He's got this year and next season. His cap hit is almost 20 million this year, and it is 20 million next year. The problem ultimately, and I've talked about this a ton over the years. So when you had the new collective bargaining agreement signed, it really screwed players in terms of players holding out. Because first of all, it's not going to count towards your contract. If you just sit out as a player, it's not going to count towards your contract year. So it's not like you just sit. You're losing money every single week. It's in practice, you're losing money every single practice that you're missing. And so it's, Myles Garrett has made a lot of money over his career. So I'm sure that he can, take some of those losses. But ultimately, I don't even know how this situation ends, because if you're Myles Garrett, it's not even like you're in your contract year and you get to leave after this year. It's all right, screw it. Let me just do one more year. You're trying to go to a team, you're trying to win a ring, and you're just trying to get the hell out of Cleveland. And dude, I don't know how this ends unless a team comes in and is like, we're going to give you all of this. But I feel like even as this continues on, the leverage that the Browns have just starts to diminish, even though Max Crosby pulled out of that race, because he had that big re-signing. Yeah, I don't know. This is messy.
Here's what's dumb. Okay. This is why this is really stupid for the Browns. They refuse to, it's like they refuse to admit that they've made a mistake with Deshaun Watson. I think that's what this all boils down to, because what they are saying is they still believe that they can be a competitive football team, right? That's why you don't trade Myles Garrett in a draft where you're sitting at pick 2. So one, if you believe there's a quarterback in this draft that can replace Deshaun Watson, and I think that's pretty easy to do at this point, you can take a quarterback at 2, or you can admit your mistake. Let's say a quarterback does go number 1 overall. You're sitting at 2. You can draft Abdul Carter. You can basically draft Myles Garrett's replacement in theory, right?
Mhm.
You can stockpile draft picks by dealing Myles Garrett. You can put yourself in a position to rebuild for the future pretty quickly. You can negate some of the cap ramifications you're going to have with Deshaun Watson. You can have your picks, but they refuse to do any of that. Now, maybe by Monday or Wednesday, they do trade him, and it's like,
Sure.
oh, okay, I get it. But I don't know. Just seems like they're just being stubborn.
Yeah.
Oh,
King Andrew dropping a 2 hundo for Brandon Perna. Hold on. 3 skills at the that's pretty damn awesome. Hell yeah. Hope your daughter crushes it in Kalamazoo.
Oh, nice. Andrew. My Carm's in gymnastics. She's only 4.5, but she's getting kind of good. So maybe in 15, no, that would be too many years. 12 years, I'll be in Kalamazoo too, Andrew.
Were you about to say 50 years?
15.
Oh.
Like then she'd be 19.
Oh, you'll be 55 in 15 years.
And I'll still be right here on GPS.
That's right. Oh, our careers aren't going anywhere, buddy.
Nice, Andrew.
There it is. Crush it.
I wish her all the luck.
Get it. Also, if you need, there's a movie, Tanya Harding. I know it's about skating, but you know, in case there's any, you know, kids that look like there's some tough competition, you know. Yes.
Oh yeah. We are prepared to make gymnastics Carmi's life.
Yeah.
No school for you. Gymnastics 8 hours a day, every day.
Gold medal or nothing.
Johnny John John.
Don't need to read if you can do flips.
That's right.
Johnny John John.
Crush it, Andrew. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, so ultimately, Perna, let me get your prediction here. Do you think this ends with a Myles Garrett trade?
No, I think the Browns are too dumb.
You think they're just going to be like, hey, be miserable?
Haslam is one of the worst owners in the NFL, and I think he's going to fuck this up beyond repair. I think it's more likely that Myles Garrett holds out than they trade him at this point. I don't know. Because it's not about money. It's not about him wanting a new contract.
No.
This guy wants to go play for a real football team. Sorry, Cleveland. Sorry, Browns fans. But real Browns fans know. They know they've got nowhere to go until they can move on from Watson. They've got an albatross of a contract for a shitty QB who can't even stay on the field to play shitty for him. It sucks. They had a nice window. They had a good thing going with Baker Mayfield.
Browns fans, I was like,
Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year, can't coach Baker Mayfield?
And Steven Stefanski.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Cleveland. I feel bad for Browns fans.
Oh, yeah.
I just hate this situation because Garrett's good. People like Myles Garrett. And now I get mad because it feels like they're just holding him hostage.
Correct. So we have to go save him.
We do. That's why we got to free him.
He can't go to the Detroit Lions, though.
He could. That would be pretty sick.
No, I will not save Myles Garrett if he's going to the Detroit Lions.
I think Deion Dawkins was recruiting him today.
Perna usually does UFL stuff. Usually, I don't watch spring football. So
yeah, it's harder. It's harder to watch. It's just too much football.
Oh no, did he? Oh, Sirianni. You know those ancient beasts.
Ooh,
it's tough times out there.
He's going to come back as a stronger beast. You mean Hall of Famer Nick Sirianni?
Ooh, who's the new worst owner now that Snyder's gone?
Haslam's up there. Woody Johnson's up there.
Yeah.
Tepper's been quiet all year. I think he dropped himself, maybe three or four.
Not throwing drinks in people's faces anymore and stuff like that. So, yeah.
If you go a whole year without throwing a drink in somebody's face, pretty good. Good job.
Solid. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I do it once a month.
I landed in Colorado yesterday and
I said no ice.
Yep. There was ice in it. It hurt.
I said distilled water.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. The Oscars, it was good. The food wasn't great. It was a little bit. 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 It was Food was not great. And when I left to go to the bathroom, I came back. My seat was really warm. I don't want seat filler. I don't know.
Seat filler?
Very warm. Very, very warm. So, Myles Garrett comes to Baltimore. Can you imagine? Jimmy Haslam's like, you know what?
Like,
fine.
The Browns just trade him to a division rival. Man,
They trade him for Trey Hendrickson.
Well, okay.
And Trey's like, no.
Why'd you do this to me? You sent me to the one place that's worse.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's the Myles Garrett thing.
Dude, Mike Brown and Jimmy Haslam should fight to the death, and whoever wins gets to absorb the other Ohio football team and just form one fully functional team.
That sounds good. Hey, IZ, let's go. Dream job. Let's go.
Nice.
Now I'm curious of where in upstate New York, because depending on where you're from, you will say it's upstate New York. Now, so I'm curious.
I'm from downstate New York.
Your exact address.
You get down with downstate New York? Yeah, you know me. You down with downstate New York? Now I gotta pee.
It's fair. Yeah, no, I would too. I mean, it's at that point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, Sam. Which upstate you talking about? You're in the city. You're just like, oh man, Yonkers is upstate. Oh, it's just depends. Anything south of Albany is downstate. Hey, and shout out to the people on Twitch. There you go. We gotta show some.
All four of you. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Won't have. Just send him to the Steelers. Haslam gets back at his fans and is just like, hell, you think I'm a terrible owner? Well, would a terrible owner do this? And just trade him to a division rival. So,
what if the Chargers? Chargers come in, try and get Myles Garrett.
Ooh.
Happy
almost
birthday in 12 days.
Happy almost birthday. I like that. Okay. On that day, am I no longer a man? No, you've evolved.
You're more of a man when you're 41.
You put another M in front of it. It's my man.
Every year, as your prostate gets a little bit bigger, you're more of a man, Ricky. You're not a real man until you got to wake up and pee 5 times in the night because your prostate's swollen to the size of a balloon. That's how real men function. That's why you got to get it checked every year when you're 40.
Are you getting up 5 times a night?
No.
I will say, I feel like as I've gotten older, I've had to pee more.
I've always had to pee in the middle of the night. I don't
like that.
It's always the same.
I remember during a Friday night Q&A, we were looking through my spam folder on an email, which, by the way, I can't wait for Friday night Q&A tonight. But I was getting spam emails. They're like, is your prostate the size of a lemon? And I was like, I don't know how I would know that.
Yeah. Can I see inside myself?
Yeah, I don't know. So, Dean remembers. Dean.
More of a man, Ricky. Happy birthday.
Happy almost birthday. Papa. It's true. Also, Lions news. Speaking of the Lions, they're doing things. Derek Barnes, so he signed a 3-year deal, $25.5 million, including 16 of that guaranteed, which makes a whole lot of sense. I know he got banged up, but he's Derek Barnes, even as a Packers fan, he's a good player, and he's a good spot for that defense.
Barnesy.
Also,
couple linebackers got extended today, right?
I would say the Buffalo Bills also re-signing some linebackers. Terrell Bernard, a 4-year, $50 million deal. So I feel like we're seeing a lot of this, like a lot of re-signings, a lot of like, okay, we're bringing back guys.
Oh,
I think we're kind of just waiting on these trades. And speaking of trades, DK Metcalf, right? So apparently the Seahawks came out and saying, hey, we're talking to a ton of teams. Now, some of those teams that have been rumored have been the Green Bay Packers. They've been talking about the Raiders as a team. I think the Panthers were also on that list, I believe, of teams that the Seahawks are rumored to be speaking to. But it comes down to what we were talking about yesterday during Clickbait. The Seahawks want a lot for DK Metcalf. They want a lot, and I don't know if they're going to necessarily get that. So I don't know about that one. Fair. That's fair, Cordell.
Yeah. I don't know who's going to give up a first rounder for DK. And then today, with Bengals said they're looking for like a second or third rounder for Trey Hendrickson, or a second to early third rounder, something like that. That actually seems pretty fair for Trey Hendrickson. The the difference, like with Trey, is a team who trades for him probably going to want to do an immediate contract extension, right? Because he's just got 1 year left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to give up like a second round pick for a 1 year rental.
Correct.
DK has a couple years on his contract. Like, was it 2 maybe? So at least you know what you're going to pay for DK over the next 2 years. But like, dude, just, I don't know. First rounder for a, like you said on Clickbait yesterday, DK, we arrived at that. He's like a wide receiver 1.5. Some games he can be your true number one wide receiver, but week in and week out, he's not dynamic enough where he is like a true one as a receiver. So that's hard to justify giving up like a first round pick. DK has void years. Let me just look up his dumb dude, I hate NFL contracts so much.
I mean, the void years, Malo, I don't think James Cook is ever going to be moved for Myles Garrett or Micah Parsons, just because I don't think either the Cleveland Browns or the Dallas Cowboys would take that.
Oh, yeah. Only
the
1 year
Cowboys
left.
could definitely use
wrong.
James Cook, but I don't think the value is not there. Like, they're still going to have to give up multiple picks in order to do so. And it's like what I agree with Scooter from yesterday. I don't think that you're restructuring guys like Dak if you're not going to be bringing back Micah Parsons. Personally.
Sure.
I don't think so.
So thank you guys. I've looked at so many contracts over the last like 2 weeks. 1 year left. Okay, that makes it even harder to justify a first round pick for.
Yeah. Oh no, he needs a new contract.
Maybe the Raiders would be interested. Reunite with old Pete Carroll. The Raiders too. I think it was Diana Rossini saying that they're interested in trading for a veteran quarterback, including current starting veteran QBs. So I don't know who that is, but the Raiders exploring all their options. Maybe Kyler Murray goes over to the Raiders. What would that be like? Pete Carroll, very good with short quarterbacks.
Well, and just to be clear, the void thing doesn't mean anything for the team that's trading for him, because the Seahawks would pay that anyway, because that's their signing bonus that's pushed. But yes, DK is going to need a new contract, and he's going to cost a good amount of money.
Yeah, 31 mil cap hit for 2025.
Yeah,
for DK.
Gold, that'd be bad. That would not be good. That would not be good. Just because, of course. Perna, did you like that John Cena heel turn? Is he on SmackDown tonight, Cena?
Yeah, of course he is. I liked when he kicked the dude in the nuts.
I love how you saw this.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
It was. Is he on there tonight? Cody Rhodes returns. I don't know. I'm going to see. Look at you. See? I'm going to get you into wrestling. I would
much rather get into wrestling than this bullshit Pokemon fuck stuff.
I'll take you to why do you hate Pokemon so much?
Because I'm an adult, Tom.
Who cares?
I didn't watch it. I have no connection to it. Why the fuck would I like it?
Because, it could be cool. It could be fun. It's a fun card game.
No, it's not. It's none of those things.
Gonna catch 'em all, so true. Good morning.
The fact that you guys normalize it, that's what's weird.
Our courage will pull us through.
All right, DK.
The DT market is just weird. Well, Degoose, that's actually a really great question, because if you look at this upcoming draft, like, it's stacked with defensive linemen, like stacked. But players also do want to go and get proven guys so that they can just plug and play. And if you're, a defensive lineman away, because when we're talking about the draft and it being stacked, you're drafting off of potential. So to see how well like Milton Williams played, he has a big year. People are willing to pony up that money for him because you're hoping that you can replicate that success with your new team. So free agency, again, free agency should not be used to fully roster build, right? Because that's how you get into trouble, because that means that you're not drafting well or players just haven't worked out. So they should be used to supplement and make your team better and be like, okay, here's where there's some gaps and here where we could potentially put us over the top. But yeah, Milton Williams, him having the year he had, being on a Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah. And it's like he played well against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. He played his best football at the exact right time.
Yep.
And also, like, defensive tackles, like, when you have good defensive tackles, your team is nice.
Yeah, when you could get pressure with 4 guys
Nice.
instead of trying to get a guy next to Kenny Clark for the past, I don't know, ever. Oh, I know. Yeah, having defensive linemen is nice.
They they take time to develop. And I think the Broncos with Zach Allen, it's a good example. Denver let Draymond Jones go. They signed Zach Allen. He was pretty good the first season with the Broncos, but last year he was one of the best defensive linemen in the league, and it made a huge difference for our entire defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like our edge rushers, who we were not sold on, feasted because guys like Zach Allen are eating up double teams on the line. So that frees up Nick Bonito. It'll free up a Jonathan Cooper.
Yep.
It's like, if you believe Williams just started to hit who he is as a football player, that's why he's going to have probably more value than like Eagles fans saw with him, like as a rotational guy. Plus, Philly's got depth on their defensive line.
Yes, they do.
And maybe they're just going to be pretty good at replacing it. So that's maybe why they won't pay him. But yes, I have heard of what Dragon Ball Z is. It's the exact same thing as Pokemon, just a different show. It is Pokemon Light or Pokemon on steroids. They're the same show. They came out the same time. I didn't watch either of them.
See, my child, like I watched the OG Pokemon and like played like Pokemon Red, got it for like my OG Game Boy. And, I think I went to Gold, Silver. Gen 2 is where I kind of tapped out. But Dragon Ball Z, that's a.
So this is what I like about football. It has nothing to do with Pokemon.
No, I'm not Scooter. All right. I will not be silenced. Hey, that's next.
Oh,
next.
boy.
Yeah, Carmi already has a Pikachu, doesn't she?
She has a Pikachu.
Yeah.
Dude, if she wants to be into it, that's fine. I got no problem with my kid liking it.
But then you're going to have to get into it.
No, I don't have to. I will wait until she likes a real show.
Is it right before WrestleMania? Then I think that'd be pretty dope. Yeah. I mean, either one right after or right before Mania. That should be pretty good. It's a live SmackDown. Perna has magic. I think you meant Magic Carp and not Magic Crap, but
dude, I got Magic Crap.
You do?
Yeah, buddy.
This is how you know it's a Friday. This is how you know it's a Friday show.
Dude, a lot's happened, but none of it's super interesting. We're all just waiting for next week.
But here's the thing, and I feel like I also don't know what day it is. So the 7th, I feel like at this point, like things usually move around now, right? Because the Russell Wilson trade, that was
yeah, but like there's just none of the quarterbacks are super interesting. They're all old. Yeah. They're so old.
I'm going to send him to the Shadow Realm.
You got Sam Darnold's the sexiest quarterback right now. Dude, that Sam Darnold, that is all the sexiness we get for quarterback free agency.
The point that I was making is like big time trades usually happen around this time. So like I was saying, I think when I was streaming a few days ago, I was explaining how I think that if the Titans are going to move from that number 1 spot, I would not be surprised it happens within the week. So within a week.
Because when did the Bryce Young, the Panthers, that draft trade, but that happened, I felt like earlier than this.
I'm thinking 49ers, Dolphins too, when they went up to go get Trey Lance, right?
Yeah.
It really is like the calm before the storm. But I don't know how crazy it's going to be, because like that's the tough part with free agency. Like you have names on the list like DK Metcalf that you may or may not have expected, heading into this free agency. But unless there's a guy moved like a Micah Parsons, who I don't think, or like if Myles Garrett eventually goes, there's not a ton of guys that are moving the needle significantly. Even T. Higgins, right? Like he was the number 1 free agent heading into this, and then he got tagged. And so people are like, oh, okay, now we just wait. Not saying there's not good players, but like with that name kind of pop is not there. So
the Browns are really messing up the sexy trade, because it would be Myles Garrett.
If Myles Garrett was like, hey, like we're gonna listen to, then things would get real fun real quick. And then he winds up going to the Raiders with Max Crosby and makes everybody in the AFC West's life miserable.
Huh.
I don't know why David Arquette. I mean, he won the WCW championship.
Because I don't watch it. I don't want to talk about something I don't watch.
Children leaving home at 10 and training their pets to fight each other. Yeah, that'd be Pokemon. It's like, sorry, Carmi, you're 10. Out of the house. Go become a Pokemon master. That's it. Wonder if your dad would be Professor Oak. I just wanted the sigh. I was waiting for the exhale. That's a nice heart sticker, by the way.
Yeah. Carmi put it on there.
Did Carmi give it to you?
Yep. Just tell me when we're ready to go back to football, guys.
We're back to football.
Great. Great.
Get talk about football now. You want to get back to it so bad.
Ooh,
Good.
David Attenborough on the Cooper DeJean pick six. Now that is sexy.
Now we need a David Attenborough Pokemon narration, and then
Look at
he could pull off
in the
Hercule.
wild. We've never seen this before. A white corner makes a play in the Super Bowl. All right, Satan. Now we're talking.
Now you're rocking.
I'd rather get into devil worshipping than Pokemon.
We're gonna get it, but yeah. So we're waiting at the moment. Hold on, I want to see if there was one more thing I wanted to talk about super quick. Hold on, please hold.
What else do we got?
Okay. Oh, this is what I want. Sorry, this is what I wanted to show you. Please hold. The NFL put this out this morning.
Are they talking about my mustache again?
Nope. That was NFL admin.
That's the NFL. That's Roger Goodell.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you, and thank you. Oh, I've shown him Rapidash before. I have. It's a horse on fire.
Don't care.
Okay. So this is where they're saying about Trey Hendrickson, about the best landing spots. And I was curious on what your take was. Christopher, great question. So unfortunately, yes, the Berlin Wall piece is going out today, and I'm going to be emailing Dylan about that. That will be going out today. Unfortunately, I'm waiting for the protectors, like the hard plastic protectors, to protect all the drawings because I want to ship it in those so that they don't bend or fold or anything like that. They're supposed to come this morning and it got delayed. So I'm still waiting to ship those out. I still have everybody's email, so I'm going to be sending out tracking information once I do. But yes, the Berlin Wall piece will get shipped out today. In terms of the Lions, I feel like this makes sense, but do you think the Lions pull the trigger on Trey Hendrickson? Because again,
kill him? Are they going to shoot
yes,
Trey?
They're going to kill him. But he's turning 31 this year, right?
Sure.
You're going to have him for, you're hoping, a couple years. Do they go and spend some capital and money on Trey? Because they do need another pass rusher.
Yeah.
Zadarius Smith, I don't think is not going to be the guy. And Hutchinson coming back is going to be a game changer. Do you go and get Hendrickson for the price that they're asking? So let's just say that you said a second round pick, right? Is what they're asking for?
Yeah. And I think Detroit kind of has the right second round pick. If you're going to give up a second rounder, it's pick 60.
Mm-hmm.
So, back into the second round.
Maybe Froy. Maybe.
Hope
so.
I don't know what Brad Holmes is going to do. They've kind of put it out that they're not going to do something like this. But for the 60th pick in the draft, is there any guy you can draft at that spot that you believe you can get at that spot that would come in and make the kind of impact that Trey Hendrickson does? I doubt it. So yes, I would love this for the Lions if they made that move. I think he was too good last season.
So good
to not be excited about what he could do instantly opposite Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, it would be fun.
Hope you have a great birthday. No, I think the Lions make sense because it's also not, because this is what I was arguing about with the Crosby potential trade or even the Garrett trade. The capital you're going to have to give up is so substantial. And yes, Myles Garrett and Max Crosby, different types of players, I would say, in different circumstances. But Hendrickson, just as a staple of how good he's been with Cincinnati, you talk about last year, Tree brought this up, arguably, vying for Defensive Player of the Year. You throw him up there, which, again, the pass rush has been the kind of weak point when it comes to the Lions drafting. They've drafted well in so many different areas, but they need to go get a pass rusher. And if it only costs you a second, yeah, I feel like you rock with that. And even if you're going to give him a 2-year extension on top of it, then you have 3 years of Aiden Hutchinson and Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I would do it. Who's next? Who else do they have on there?
Oh, Brandon. There you go. Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Diaby. Interesting.
That sounds good, Bees.
Yeah. Bucks could use it for sure.
Buccaneers would be interesting.
Dude, Buccaneers. I want them to trade for Myles Garrett just so we can watch Myles Garrett and Baker Mayfield hug it out.
That's fair. That would be
I
something.
like this next one for the Chargers. I think Chargers, sure.
Chargers make sense. Yeah. Hunter, I don't see that there's a ton of people getting like overly excited. I think it's just, hey, you're trading a 7th rounder. And like, while he definitely has some injury concerns, when he's on the field, like, if you can get some good value out of him and you don't know what you're doing with Stephon Diggs, it's worth a 7th rounder.
Oh, easy. It's worth a 7th. Yeah. I think that's a nice pickup for the Texans. Yeah. If he plays all year,
you're rocking. If not, then
he's quick. I think he's going to be a nice asset.
Falcons need a lot of things. I don't think that this is their first. I see if the
Can we trade you Kirk Cousins for a Trey Hendrickson? How would you like a Kirk Cousins?
I feel like they address this in the draft because this is the draft to go after defensive linemen. I feel. On Perna, Satan offers you a deal. A Broncos Super Bowl win, guaranteed. We have to be a diehard Pokemon and DBZ fan.
Nope.
Wow.
I've already seen 3 Super Bowls.
You're like, I'm good.
Ooh, Jonathan Allen, released by the Commanders.
Well, Washington, speaking of the Commanders, they're on this list too. They just they re-signed Bobby Wagner, which I like that deal.
Bobby Wagner.
They have the money to do so, to go get Trey Hendrickson. I think they might go youth too. I might lean youth. They might. The Bears, I think fix your other line first, which you are. You're going out and getting it, but Hendrickson, they're making the argument about Sweat, which I do agree. I think that would be opposite Sweat would be a lot of fun. Packers,
Sweat on Sweat.
Packers, I don't hate. I don't hate it at all, but I don't think that they're going to. If that would be their big time free agent.
Yeah,
like if you're going for DK Metcalf or Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, I mean, listen, I would love a pass rusher. Don't get me wrong, and Hendrickson would be a lot of fun, and I think he can put some damage on there. But yeah,
Baba Wagyu.
Colts.
Yeah, they need it.
Classic. Yeah, they just Gus Bradley is just so anything will be an improvement. Anything at that point. I think Hendrickson does get moved. I think whoever winds up getting him, especially if they're a contender and they already have like an established pass rusher, Hendrickson's going to be a lot of fun for him. Thank you, Fitzgerald. Appreciate you. And my question to you is, before we head on out of here, the Bengals choosing to address T. Higgins over Trey Hendrickson. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Bengals fans should be what?
The Bengals choosing T. Higgins over Trey Hendrickson. I don't really agree with that.
I don't know. Dumb.
Oh, because you don't agree with that either.
No.
Okay.
I think it's a tough decision, and I love T. Higgins. Sure. I think he's amazing.
Yep.
I think they have Jamar Chase, though. And I think you can find receivers with a good quarterback much more easily than edge rushers. And your defense sucked with Trey Hendrickson. You let Lou go. Some Bengals fans wanted him to be a scapegoat. So there you go. You have it. Everybody else on earth was like, that guy's actually very good. So I think it's harder to prioritize T over Trey. But T's younger. You'll get a longer run with T. Higgins, but you're mostly going to be dumping your money into Burrow, Chase, Higgins. And then you got to fill the gaps everywhere else. I don't know. Like, you just look at the quarterbacks who have had Super Bowl winning success. None of them are overpaying for multiple wideouts, right? Like the Chiefs. I mean, I guess maybe the Eagles.
Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, though.
Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, but they're not really overpaying. I don't know, man. I think it's tough. But I would have preferred to keep Trey, pay Jamar Chase. They should have signed Higgins to a contract like a year or two ago, because then they'd be like, okay, we're all right now. But maybe they should have tag and trade T. Higgins. Like, maybe they still do, but I don't feel like that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Folks saying about Jonathan Allen, I mean, now you have a DT who's gone. It's just, I don't think that salary was going to make sense, just because
this was in the works for a while, right?
Jonathan Allen's solid. It's just, it's not worth the money.
They were going to try to trade him. They couldn't trade him. Now they'll release him.
Yeah.
That's a nice pickup.
That's right, Hunter. That's right.
I mean, maybe the Bengals just go get Jonathan Allen now. Like, okay. Get a guy. I just feel like defensive tackle, not pure edge dude, but
I feel like with the Bengals prioritizing going to get and Jamar Chase makes all the sense in the world to me, right? And again, I like T. Higgins, and I don't think like re-signing him is necessarily a bad thing. But like Trey Hendrickson, I get it, right? Aging guy, have probably one more contract left. But in terms of just like roster building, in terms of the guy who already knows, like it just is familiar with the team, the production is obviously there. I just don't think it's their best move.
We watched them last year with an incredible offense and a bad defense, and it blew up in their face.
And they still need offensive line help. Like they still need to protect Joe Burrow. So yeah. I don't know, man. I understand, like, if you don't want to give him a major contract, if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, of like, if he's looking for a longer term deal, I get it. But
yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's like, it's going to be hard to say like signing T. Higgins is a bad thing for the Bengals, but big picture, it feels like the wrong move, right? Yeah. And I think you say that while acknowledging like T. Higgins is pretty incredible.
When he's on the field, he's great.
Yeah. He missed a little time last year, but whatever.
Yeah.
The Bengals are lucky the Browns are really messing up right now. It's like, whew. Yeah, keep shitting on the Browns, everybody, as we fly under the radar of criticism.
That's it. Perna, what do you got coming out today?
A Browns video.
Same.
Really?
I have a Myles Garrett skit that I'm working on. So I need to film it outside, but it's very, very windy here. So I'm going to have to potentially adapt to that. But
I wasn't even doing a Myles Garrett video. It was about the contract for Watson.
Oh, got you.
And then the Myles Garrett stuff this morning, I was like, okay, I'll work this in to make this a solid episode. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Cleveland.
There you go. Yeah. I think your ownership is bullying your team more than we ever could.
Yeah. I'm not trying to bully the Browns. It's just bad.
If anything, I'm just trying to bully their ownership. That's all.
Yeah, come get it, Jimmy.
That's it. AAA. Make sure you get that help if you need it, my friend. Crush it. We all going a little, things are going on right now. Things are crazy in the world. So get well soon, my friend. Reach out if you need it. Perna, your mustache still looks great. Folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on Monday, probably with some more breaking news. I would assume. I would assume. We'll see though. We'll see. Hold on. Why do both DK and Lockett want to leave is what the Packers felt when Rodgers left. Well, Lockett,
Lockett wanted to.
Yeah,
I think Seattle's like, you're old.
Yeah,
bye.
You're old. Goodbye.
We got JSN.
DK is a tough one. That's tough because now you're just going to have JSN. Yeah. Hey, don't forget Jake Bobo, of course. We can't ever forget the Jake Bobo. But yeah,
Jake Bobo.
It's tough. The good news is, if you're a Seahawks fan, is that hopefully the capital that you get from DK, you could just go out and get a receiver and pray that they're good. You know, like, because, you need offensive line more than anything, but we'll see. But folks, Well, so I'll see you tonight for Q&A. Skit coming out. Perna's doing a Browns video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS, and you have been
Rich
Wow, look at that. Look at that catch on. Let's see here.
Nice catch.